Hey everybody, it's Ashley Ray from letstalkraystyle.com, and today's video is called Adulting. So I wanted to talk about adulting because a lot of people are struggling with being an adult, myself being included. And I just wanted to kind of like give some tips or advice on some things to help you get through. So the main complaints that we have about adulting is really about change. Well, change, paying bills, responsibilities other than paying bills, taking your kids back and forth to school or to after school programs, whatever activities they may be in, going to work functions. And even though these are regular things, everyday things, the point of the matter is we're just people and we get tired. We're tired of routine. Some days we are tired of going to work. Some days we're tired of picking up kids. Like, that's just a reality. And I don't want any parents to ever feel bad about not feeling like doing something today, especially when it's involving kids, because that's a whole nother level of adulting because you're responsible for other human beings' lives. So never feel bad for that. Like, it's totally okay. But I think that we can do a better job, like within adulting, as far as acknowledging our emotions and feelings when we're hurt, because a lot of times we just feel like we have to keep it moving. That's something really predominant in the Black community. Like, it's no matter what just happened, we have to keep it moving. And that's not true. We don't have to keep it moving. Like, I think we should basically process our feelings. Well, first we have to acknowledge that we're actually hurt about something, and then process our feelings on why we feel that way. Because otherwise, that's how you ended up getting into an argument with your Aunt Crystal, at the Thanksgiving dinner, because she said she didn't like the time when you did something, and then you just explode on her. And she's like, well, I just said I didn't like this, and you've been bottling everything up. So any little thing will set you off and have you going off on people. So I think we can do a better job with that. Or we should acknowledge our feelings and take the time to process them. So I feel like most of us are doing the best that we can, with the cards that we're dealt in life, the situations that we have. We're working with what we have to make a life for ourselves, and for those who have children, make a life for ourselves and our children. Take some time out to get in touch with your inner child. I feel like that is a huge part of adulthood that we are missing. A lot of us are missing. A lot of us are so focused on being adults that we forget at some point in time that there were things as children that made us happy. And I always say, like, the creative part of a human being is the inner child in them that never died. So if there was something that you like to do as a child that made you happy, maybe you should incorporate that into your life. That's just like a lot of people use coloring as a form of therapy, like in an actual coloring book. There are adult coloring books for people to color. If you played an instrument, maybe you should think about playing that instrument again, or listening to an artist that specifically does music within using that instrument. You never know how much that might help you. But if you don't have a hobby that made you happy as a kid, maybe you can watch some comedy or something to take your mind off of whatever it is that you have going on, so that it lifts your spirits and it puts you in a lighter mood. If you have some type of token that made you happy as a child, for example, when I say token, I mean, an object. Like, I have these teddy bears that I used to call my daddies because my parents split up when I was very young. And so in order for me to go to sleep, I used to sleep with these teddy bears that my daddy gave me. So even to this day, when I think about my daddies, I get happy because that was something special to me as a child. And even when I see them, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, that is a token. Actually, my token is a picture of me. When I was 7 years old, I took a picture with the first bear that I recall maintaining and calling my daddy's. something to look at. I have it in my living room, actually. The picture is something that I look at to make me think about happy times as a child, which ultimately changes my spirit and how I feel within that moment. So here we are, it's Halloween. And as you can see, I am dressed as a pink lady. If you don't know what a pink lady is, it is a girl group in the wonderful musical Grease. And if you've never seen it, shame on you. And I'm talking about the 1970s version with John Travolta, not the remake with Keke Palmer, okay? You have to see the original to get the whole vibe. But I am dressed in this Halloween costume today because it is a part of my inner child. Well, yes, it is a part of my inner child. I actually love Halloween. I had 3 costumes this year. So I am going to post pictures of all 3 of my costumes at the end of this video. But as I stated, Halloween costumes are a part of my inner child. Halloween was always a super duper fun time, and I enjoy resurfacing that inner child. Dressing up for Halloween is like the best thing I could have ever decided to do for myself as an adult. Like, I try to go all out each year, and that's why I have 3 costumes for this year. I love the atmosphere. Most of the time, I invite people over to my home. We watch movies. I pass out candy. We eat good food, and we just have a good time. Like, I really just enjoy being around friends and family, and I love seeing the kids dressed up. When they're Halloween costumes, they usually come right after they get out of school. So I usually start passing out candy around 3 or 4 o'clock. And that usually lasts until around 10-ish. But it's just a really cool thing to do. And I just want you to know that it's okay to not like being an adult. But what you have to do is change your mind about being an adult. Like, there's so many advantages to being an adult versus being a child. I actually feel way less stressed as an adult than I ever did as a child. That might sound crazy, but it's really true. But I was also never a kid that wanted to rush and grow up. I didn't. I used to cry on New Year's Eve, for crying out loud. But anyway, we have to change our way of thinking about adulting. Think about the things that make you happy. Keep those happy memories going. Know that you're doing the best that you can do, and that you're working to be a better human, a more functional human every single day. And that's all that anyone can actually ask of you. So I'm going to end this video here. Happy Halloween. Don't forget to take a look at the end of the video for all 3 of my Halloween costumes. And I hope you all enjoy your Halloween. Be safe. Don't forget to check your candy. And have a good day. Happy Halloween.